Hello everyone, I'm Dr. K. Sandhya. At present, I'm working as a lecturer in Government Degree College, Vardhanapet, Warangal Rural District. Today in this session, we will understand the DNA replication. Before going to the main topic, let us understand the DNA double helical structure. The double helix model of DNA was proposed by the Watson and Crick in 1953 based on the X-ray diffraction studies of Wilkins and Franklin, chemical analysis by Chargaff. Watson and Crick and Wilkins received the Nobel Prize for the double helix, which was rated as the molecule of 21st century. The double helix structure of DNA has two strands, which are anti-parallel and have opposite orientations. The one strand starts with 5 prime to the 3 prime. The another strand starts with 3 prime to the 5 prime. The head of one strand will be close to the tail of the other strand. The double helix has some physical parameters, which are diameter is 20 angstroms, pitch or helical turn is 34 angstroms, or 3.4 nanometers. The number of residues per turn is 10 base pairs per turn in crystal, 10.5 base pairs per turn in solution. The twist of sugar or phosphate backbone per base pair is 36 degrees. The base pairing of this involves a purine and pyrimidine, an amino base with a keto base, the adenine with thiamine, and guanine with cytosine. The base pairing involves the hydrogen bonds, and the adenine and thiamine pairs has two hydrogen bonds, whereas a guanine and cytosine pair has three hydrogen bonds. The double helix contains two grooves, minor groove and major groove. The minor groove is narrow and is involved in binding of histones, whereas the major groove is broad and it is involved in the binding of non-histone proteins. Now, let us move on to the DNA replication. Before going to understanding replication, the why is the DNA replication importance? What is the importance of DNA replication? The reproduction of cells and organisms are dependent on DNA replication. The information stored in the DNA is essential for life. If a cell dies, the body must replace that cell. The only way to replace the cells to first copy the information that the cells contain. There is a complex system of proteins and enzymes that unravel the DNA double helix so that the DNA can be copied. Without the copying of the DNA, life would not continue, as existing organisms would not be able to reproduce and replace themselves. Life is dependent on the information stored on the DNA. Without the replication of DNA, the information would not be passed on and life would cease to exist. The basis for inheritance, the fundamental process occurring in a cell, all cells for copying DNA to transfer the cell's genetic information to daughter cells. Transfer the genetic information to daughter cells. Each cell must replicate its DNA before division. Next, let us go to models for DNA replication. After Watson and Crick proposed the double helix DNA model, the three models for DNA replication were proposed. These are first is a conservative model, Second one is the semi-conservative model, and last one is the dispersive model. These are very clear in this picture. First, let us go to semi-conservative model. In this model, two parental identical DNA strands separate, and each contains one parental strand and one newly synthesized strand. Therefore, the mechanism is called the semi-conservative model. Next, let us go to conservative model. The conservative model, in this model, from two parental DNA strands, one daughter molecule contains both parental DNA strands and the other daughter molecule contains DNA strands of newly synthesized, which is very clear. We can observe here. Next, third one is a dispersive model. In this dispersive model, the parental double helix is brown in sorry. In this model, the parental double helix is broken into double-stranded DNA segments. That segments then reassemble into complete the DNA double helices, each with parental and progeny DNA segments is interspersed. So, three models of DNA replication. Uh, Most acceptable replication method is semi-conservative model. This is a very important model. Uh, Next, go to the DNA replication characteristics. This is the semi-conservative model, and this is the discontinuous model, and this the process in which the macromolecule is used as a template to synthesize its own copies is called replication. It occurs during the S phase. It is a self-duplicated process, which is one of the characteristics required for DNA to act as a genetic material. DNA synthesis is carried by DNA polymerases. These are the enzymes which are useful for the DNA replication, which are also known as replicases. These are many types in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. DNA polymerase 3 in E. coli, which is very useful for DNA replication in E. coli. Next, DNA polymerase gamma, which is very useful for the replication of mitochondria. DNA polymerase alpha, delta, and epsilon, which are the replicases in eukaryotes. The DNA synthesis occurs always from 5 prime to the 3 prime direction. DNA replication exhibits the following characteristics. This is very this is the semi conservative model. This is one characteristics, and the another characteristics or semi discontinuous model. In the semi discontinuous model, uh, leading and lagging strands are very important. In this model, in this replication, during this replication, one of the newly synthesized strand is leading strand. It is continuously extended by the single primer. The second strand, or which is also known as lagging strand, it is discontinuously extended by large number of primers, which is very clear in this diagram. Therefore, the mechanism is called semi-discontinuous mechanism. So, leading strands, remember this one, leading strand, which is continuously extended by the single primer. Lagging strand, which is discontinuously extended by the large number of primers. Next, energy of replication. In the energy of replication, the nucleotides arrive as nucleoside triphosphates. DNA base, sugar, and triphosphates, which are the energy for bonding. DNA bases arrive with their own energy source for bonding, bonded by the enzyme, which is DNA polymerase 3. Next, primer is needed for this DNA replication. DNA polymerase can only add nucleotides to the 3' end of growing DNA strand. This is very important for DNA replication, which acts as a starter. Uh, Next, this stands only grows 5' to the 3'. Template is read in the 3' to 5' direction, while polymerization takes place in the 5' to 3' direction. Next, primer. Primer is very important for this replication. Uh, Primer requirement is characteristics of DNA synthesis. It is needed for replication and reverse transcription. A primer provides free 3' OH end to which the incoming nucleotide can be joined with phosphodiester bonds. In bacteria, the enzyme primase synthesizes the primers, and primase combines with the DNA helicase to form the primosome complex, uh, which serves as a starter sequence for the DNA polymerase 3. RNA primers for the lagging strand depends on the number of Okazaki fragments. RNA primer has free 3' OH group to which the first nucleotide is bound. Now, replication steps. These are the DNA replication steps. First step is identification of the origins of replication. Next, unwinding. This is also known as denaturation of DNA, double stranded DNA to provide a single stranded DNA template. Next step is formation of the replication core. Next, initiation of DNA synthesis and elongation. Next, primer removal and ligation of the newly synthesized DNA fragments. Last one is the reconstitution of chromatin structure. Next, components. Components of DNA replication, which are DNA polymerases, deoxynucleotide polymerization. Next, helicase enzyme. This is processive unwinding of DNA. Next, topoisomerases relieve torsional strain that results from helicase, included unwinding. Next, RNA primase, which is most important enzyme which initiates the synthesis of the RNA primers. Next, single stranded binding proteins which prevent premature re-annealing of double stranded DNA. Next, DNA ligases which are acts as a gums which seals the single strand nick between the nascent chain and Okazaki fragments on the lagging strand. Now, let us move on to the origin of replication in prokaryotes. At the origin of replication, ORI, which indicated as ORI, there is an association of sequence-specific double-stranded DNA binding protein with a series of direct repeat DNA sequences. In E. coli, ORI-C is bound by the protein DNA A. A complex is formed consisting of 150 to 250 base pairs of DNA and multimers of DNA binding protein. This leads to the local denaturation and unwinding of adjacent AT rich region of the DNA. Next, in eukaryotes, functionally similar autonomously replicating sequences or replicators have been identified in yeast cells. The A or S or autonomously replicating sequences contain a somewhat degenerate 11 base pair sequences called the origin replication element. The origin replication element binds to a set of proteins analogous to the DNA protein of E. coli, which is collectively called the origin recognition complex. Origin recognition complex. The origin recognition complex is located adjacent to an approximately 80 base pairs. 80 rich sequence that is easy to unwind. This is called the DNA unwinding element. The unwinding of DNA. Helicase begins to the unwinding of DNA using the energy obtained from the ATP hydrolysis. DNA primase or which is indicated as DNA G then binds to the DNA and forms the primosome complex with the DNA helicase which indicated as DNA B. Primosome initiates the primer formation for the leading strand synthesis. The presence of a primer complementarily paired with DNA stimulates the clamp load the dimerized sliding clamp, which in turn promotes the binding of core polymerases to the sliding clamp. Next, the polymerase formation of the replication fork. As the DNA unwinding takes place, positive supercoils are the generated ahead of the replication fork, which promotes the binding of gyrase that removes the positive supercoils by introducing negative supercoils into the DNA. The core polymerase of leading strand templates begins the polymerase activity and extends the leading strand primer. The extension of leading strands causes the sufficient unwinding of DNA, making the possibility of the first primer formation for the lagging strand. The clamp loader will be loaded to for which the core polymerase is added to begin the synthesis of first Okazaki fragment. We can observe here, this is the replication fork. Formation of replication bubbles. Uh, some bubbles occur during the replication process. Replication occurs in both directions along the length of the DNA, and both strands are replicated simultaneously. This replication process generates replication bubbles, which is very clear in this picture. Replication bubbles in eukaryotes, which shows so many bubbles in eukaryotes. DNA replication begins at many sites along the giant DNA molecule of each chromosome. The DNA polymerase complex. A number of different DNA polymerase molecules engage in DNA replication. These share three important properties: chain elongation, uh, processivity, and proofreading. Chain elongation, which accounts for the rate nucleotides per second at which polymerization occurs. The rate of elongation by DNA polymerase 3 is 800 to 1000 nucleotides incorporated per second. Uh, with this elongation rate in bidirectional mechanism, about 45 minutes are required for the completion of E. coli DNA replication. When the DNA polymerization involved in replication encounters an RNA polymerase involved in transcription. The RNA polymerase temporarily aborts the transcription and leaves the templates facilitating the DNA polymerase movement. In the case of circular chromosomes such as bacterial DNA, the termination requires specific signals such as signals in the form of terminus sequences which interact with the TUS proteins. Each of a DNA strand contains its own one terminus sequence. For example, in E. coli, one strand contains one sequence term in TE or EDA sequence, and another strand contains TE or BC sequence. Uh, Next, uh, when the polymerase encounters these sequences bounded by the TUS proteins, the termination of replication occurs. The replication of DNA bacteria produced concatenated molecules in which one circular molecule passes through another circle in the separation of catenated DNA into individual daughter molecules is carried out by the topoisomerase type 2 that creates a break in the DNA and removes one circle from another. Uh, this slide shows the differences between the DNA polymerase 1, 2, and 3 enzymes. DNA, the polymerization rate is very low in polymerase 1, 2, and very high in DNA polymerase 3. Next, processivity is very low in 1 and 2 DNA polymerases, high in DNA polymerase 3. The proofreading, which is 3 prime to 5 prime and 5 prime to 3 prime exonuclease activities are very active in DNA polymerase 1. These activity in 3 prime to 5 prime exonuclease activity by the DNA polymerase 2. 3 prime to 5 prime exonuclease activity in DNA polymerase 3. Primer removal is best in DNA polymerase 1, which are not known in DNA polymerase 2 and 3. Strand synthesis is lagging strand by the DNA polymerase 1, which is no any role in DNA polymerase 2, and leading and lagging strands both are formed by the activity of DNA polymerase 3. The DNA repair is active in DNA polymerase 1, which is also active in DNA polymerase 2, which no role in DNA polymerase 3. In eukaryotic DNA polymerases, eukaryotic cells have counterparts for each of these enzymes plus some additional ones. A comparison is shown in this table. This table represents E. coli 1, 2, and 3 in mammalian cells, and its functions are represented in this table. First one, E. coli DNA polymerase 1, which is indicated as alpha. Its function is gap filling and synthesis of lagging strand. DNA polymerase 2, which is indicated as epsilon. Its function is DNA proofreading and repair. Beta function is DNA repair. Gamma function is mitochondrial DNA synthesis. DNA polymerase 3, which is denoted as delta, which function is processive leading strand synthesis. Next, initiation and elongation of DNA synthesis. First, primer. The priming process involves the nucleophilic attack by the 3' hydroxyl group of the RNA primer on the phosphate of the first entering deoxy nucleoside triphosphate with the splitting of of pyrophosphate. Mammalian DNA polymerase alpha is mainly responsible for the synthesis of the primer. Next, selection of the proper deoxyribonucleotide whose terminal 3' hydroxyl group is to be attacked is dependent upon a proper base pairing with the other strand of the DNA molecule according to the rules proposed by the Watson and Crick. Next, the initiation and elongation of DNA synthesis. When the adenine deoxyribonucleoside monophosphoryl moiety is in the template position, a thymidine triphosphate will enter, and its phosphate will be attacked by 3' hydroxyl group of the deoxyribonucleoside monophosphoryl, most recently added to the polymer. By this stepwise process, the template dictates which deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate is complementary, and by hydrogen bonding holds it in its place, while the 3' hydroxyl group of the growing strand attacks and incorporates the new nucleotide into the polymer. This picture shows the base pairing in the DNA replication. Next, DNA topoisomerases. Relief of supercoils is done by the topoisomerases, which are of two types: topoisomerase 1 and topoisomerase 2. Topoisomerase 1 acts as by making a transient single cut in the backbone of the DNA, enabling the strands to swivel around each other to remove the buildup of a twist. Topoisomerase 2 is also known as DNA gyrase, acts by introducing double-stranded breaks, enabling one double-stranded DNA to pass through another, thereby removing knots and entanglements that can form within and between the DNA molecules. This slide represents the formation of supercoils in the double helix DNA. The strand separation is we can observe here, and this is the positive supercoiling is represented in this slide. Next, mechanism of action of topoisomerases, which I have explained before: topoisomerases 1 and topoisomerases 2, which are here in this picture. Relaxed circle is represented, shown here. The left half of the circle folds over the right half. The back of helix is cleaved. Next step is that the front half of the helix passes through the break, which is released. Next, primer removal and nick sealing step. The primers are removed by the DNA polymerase 1 by replacing ribonucleotides with deoxyribonucleotides. Nicks are sealed by the DNA ligase. DNA ligase is acts as the gum which joins the leading and lagging strands. Multiple primers on the lagging strand while single primer on the leading strand. This is the proofreading and editing of DNA replication. 1,000 bases per second is equal to lots of typos. DNA polymerases proofreads and corrects typos, repairs mismatched bases, removes abnormal bases, repairs damage throughout the life, which reduces error rate from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 100 million bases. Next, termination of replication. This is the telomeres or the chromosomal ends having highly repetitive hexamers sequences. A telomerase sequence can be generated. Generally, these are represented as CNA by T by M. N, where N is less than 2, M is 1 to 4. Telomeres contains highly specialized secondary structures called G quartets, quartets involving the guanosine nucleotides. The termination process in prokaryotes, DNA replication terminates when the replication forks reach the specific termination sites. The two replication forks meet each other on the opposite end of the parental circular DNA. Next, the termination of replication. This is which is completed in about 30 minutes. A replication rate of 3 into 10 to the power of 5 base pairs per minute in prokaryotes. The entire mammalian genome replicates in approximately 9 hours. The average period required for mammalian of tetraploid genome from a diploid genome in a replicating cell. Next, reconstitution of a chromatin structure. This is also one of the step in DNA replication. In this reconstitution, chromatin structure must be reformed after the replication. Newly replicated DNA is rapidly assembled into nucleosomes, and the pre-existing and newly assembled histone octomers are randomly distributed to each arm of the replication fork. This DNA synthesis or DNA replication, which occurs in the cell cycle during the S phase. In animal cells, including human cells, the replication of the DNA genome occurs only during the synthetic or S phase. This is usually temporarily separated from the mitotic phase by the synthetic periods referred to as G1 phase and G2 phase, occurring before and after the S phase respectively. This is clear in this picture. The cell prepares for DNA synthesis in G1 phase and for mitosis in G2 phase. Telomeres. The telomere structure protects the integrity of a chromosome, which prevents the action of exonucleases and protects from two-end fusion of chromosomes. The majority of the normal cells, the telomeres gradually decrease in size from one division to another, and this decrease occurs. The chromosome reaches a critical stage, stops dividing the cell, undergoes senescence, and is finally subjected to death. This shortening takes place at the 5-1 end of chromosome because of telomere sequencing. Majority of animal cell can undergo divisions for 30 to 50 generations when grown in artificial media. However, the stem cells and germline cells contain telomerases that carry out the replication of telomeric ends, and therefore these cells can be subjected to infinite number of divisions. Telomerases or reverse transcriptions containing on RNA template and protein catalyzes. The RNA template is a repeat of the hexanucleotide sequence that the characteristics of telomeres in a given species. The telomerase repeatedly uses the RNA template to synthesize the telomeric DNA characteristics of a given species. Therefore, in the cell expressing the telomerases, the length of telomeres remain constant. Uh, the mechanism of action of telomerases, the enzyme synthesizes a special type of sequence TTAGGG. In this is the sequence in repeats on to the telomere sequences using an internal RNA template. Next, telomerase acts like reverse transcriptase. It recognizes 3' end of telomerase based on the RNA component. A small DNA strand is synthesized in this mechanism. This telomerase different level of activity in different cells, which are shown here. Uh, the high in stem cells and cancer cells activity lost in old age. during the senescence, potential target for newer anti-cancer drugs. Inhibitors of the DNA replication. The bacterial DNA gyrase, which is indicated as type 2 isomer, topoisomerase, which is inhibited by novobiosine and nalidixic acid. Ciprofloxacin interferes with DNA breakage and rejoining the process. In mammalian topoisomerases inhibited by etoposide and adriamycin used as the anti-cancer drugs. Nucleoside analogs also inhibit the replication and are used as the anti-cancer drug. At last, the summary of the replication. First one is unwinding. Unwinding of DNA strands forms a replication fork. Next, primase, which is a very useful enzyme which synthesizes the RNA primer. Continuous synthesis, leading strand. Next, form the discontinuous synthesis, that is a lagging strand. These are also called as Okazaki fragments, which are joined by the DNA lyase enzyme. Synthesis 5 prime to 3 prime direction. Always DNA synthesis occurs this direction only, 5 prime to 3 prime. Primers removed and nick sealed. Next, proofreading by the DNA polymerases, last organized into chromatin structure. Okay, hope everything is clear about the replication of DNA. Thank you, everyone.